Hello everyone, Roguefox here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today, we will be looking at a one-chunk piston house for the Bedrock Edition. Recently, I have been working on a bunch of different redstone builds, and through trial and error, and that whole process, I have definitely learned a lot about Bedrock Redstone. So, I wanted to go ahead and take up Momo's challenge of creating a one-chunk piston house. That means all of the redstone, all the contraptions, the whole build, has to fit within one chunk. Now the reason I wanted to do this was not to enter the contest, but I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of challenge myself and see what I could fit within one chunk. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the one chunk piston house. So here is my one chunk piston house. I tried to do a little bit of decorating on the outside. Now I will admit decorating is not my strong suit, but I thought on top of making this redstone house, I would try to make it look a little pretty as well. So if we come over here to the front door, we're going to head on in and check out what I've placed in. So nothing too fancy, we have a pressure plate for our door, we walk right in, and bam, here is the first room. We got a little decoration right here with a little tree, and my sad attempt at making a little kitchen. We got our clock, we got our cabinets, furnaces, little sink. And if we come over here, you can see we have a random lever on a bookshelf and also our enchanting area along with our anvil. Now if we pop over here, this is, you may have guessed it already, an armor dispenser. You can see I have no armor on, but if we come up to here, I press this. Now I am fully covered with diamond armor, and I also have a diamond sword and pickaxe, because why not? So now that we've checked that one out, that is our first contraption in here. Let's go ahead and pull this lever right here and see what this does. And we can see that it is broken. Alright, so let's try that again, shall we? We pull this lever here. We can see not only does it work, but we also have a nice little staircase going up to our second floor. Now let's go ahead and take a look upstairs. First off, we have nothing too special going on. Some redstone lamps that are hooked up to a daylight sensor. And if we make our way over here, we can see we have another redstone lamp that we can just turn on and off like that. Fancy stuff. We come over here to the side of the room. We have a brewing stand. Now we already have some water bottles loaded up, but once these are all done, they will come through here, filter through, and automatically fill back up. So with our water bottles in, let's go ahead and press this button. And you can see we have some items dispensing. Now if we look down here, we can see we have some nether wart going. And in the hopper we have some magma cream and some redstone that will give us a fire resistance potion for 8 minutes. Now the only downside to this build here is that we can only make one type of potion. So while that's brewing, let's go ahead and look at the rest of the room. Over here we have a nice little bookshelf that I tried to decorate. So I actually think it looks pretty cool. But if we come over here behind this banner, we got a little button. We press it and we can see an item dispensed from the wall. So let's go ahead and see what this is. Tutorial ideas. Okay. Cool. So we got that item. No dispensers are showing. Our button is hidden and it just popped right on out. So let's go ahead. Let's come over here and we can see a nice little record collection on the wall here. So let's go ahead. Pop all these off, and obviously we have a jukebox here, so we're going to go ahead and try these out, right? So we come over here. Surely there must be a hidden entrance, so let's try this. No, nothing. Let's try this one. Negative. Nothing on that. What about this one? Nope, still nothing. Let's try this one. There it is. A little door opened up over here, revealing a hidden chest with nothing inside. So, here are my tutorial ideas, so let's go ahead and stash those away, where they will be nice and safe. Now we pop the record out, and we can see it closes right back up. I'm going to go ahead and take these, and let's go ahead and go back downstairs. But before we do, we can see our potions have finished brewing, and everything is all good to go. Now we remove them, and all the water bottles filled right back up. and we just stash that away. Now we are back downstairs, and since we're finished upstairs, we can go ahead, flip our lever again, our stairs retract, and go back flush with the floor. Now before we continue on, there's a little lever there, so obviously that's going to do something, but we may have another secret entrance around here, and as a matter of fact, we do. So if we grab an item, let's walk over to our furnaces here, and I'm just going to chuck it like that. A secret entrance is revealed, so let's hop on down. And we have a little secret room with some redstone you can see going on for that triple piston extender back there. But if we come down here, we have a little diamond stash. Just in case people come into our homes, they're trying to raid our house, we have this little area down below to keep everything nice and safe. So when we want to exit, let's go ahead, pop ourselves back up like that, reach into our chest right here, pull our item out, and you can see our entrance closes right back up. Over here in the enchanting room, you can see we have a lovely view of the sand structure outside there in the desert, and we also have all of our bookshelves set up so we can get maximum enchantments. But if we come over here, we can pull this lever, and this reveals a spiral staircase. And if we retract it, you can see it comes back up nice and flush. And let's go ahead and check out what's down here. There's nothing too fancy going on, just some storage. And if we come over here, you'll notice we have a rotating storage system. So if we press this, this rotates. This shows us a furnace that we can push, and we can go ahead and throw items inside to do a little more smelting. And over here we can just toss our records inside. And if we want to access the contents in the next chest, we go ahead, we press this button, our next chest comes around, and you can see we have a bunch of boats and hose inside. And finally, we have our last redstone contraption for our one chunk piston house. After we're all done in here, we're crafting, we got our smelting done over here in our furnace, we can just walk on right over here, stand on the slime block. We got a piston in our face right here, but if we press this button, we were just launched right back up into our garden, and all we have to do is walk outside the gate and act like nothing happened. So with that, that was the one chunk piston house that I created. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the redstone involved. The first thing I wanted to show you guys was the hidden staircase that we had come out of the floor with our triple piston extender and all that good stuff. Here is the circuit right here in front of us. You can see I barely made it fit within the 16 by 16 chunk. I had to do some little twists and turns with the wiring, but in the end it came out and worked just perfectly. If we look at the circuit here, it may look a little complicated. That's only because it's all jumbled up. All the pink will represent the double piston extender and the single piston. But when you actually break it down, it's really not too bad. To the left of our hidden staircase, we have our wiring for our spiral staircase. It is very compact. If I remember correctly, it fits within a 4x4 area, and it only goes a few blocks down. This build was actually fairly easy to make, and I thought it was a perfect fit for our library. Now just beyond that, we have our wiring for our hidden furnace entrance, which you see right here, our torch tower, and then we have our chest that activates all of our redstone going on over here. And it is a little jumbled and cluttered, but hopefully you can get a good idea of how this thing works. If we come upstairs, we can see our hidden jukebox door. Now the way I have this wired up, in this hopper I have 3 non-stackable items that will give us an output of 9. So we are running 9 into this comparator here, which is then going to compare. And if you didn't know, each record lets off its own signal strength. So anything with a power level of 10 or higher, in this case the blue one is 12, will activate our door. So we can try this. I believe this is a power level of 5. Far. It's not going to work. But if we have this power level 12 here, we put it right in, and you can see our chest is revealed, and if we take it out, it closes right back up. And finally, we have our brewing stand. This is really nothing too fancy, just a button on the bottom of a dispenser. And if we want to look at the redstone, we can see we have a handful of dispensers, just a couple of repeaters, and a piece of redstone dust. All it does is tell these dispensers to fire in a certain order, so we can make the appropriate potion. With that being said, this is the end of the tour. I hope you guys really enjoyed this piston house. This has been Roguebox, and I'm out. See you later.